What's happening, y'all? Welcome inside the Fantasy Stock Exchange. Tyler and Bush coming at you with the Monday recap, Black Monday, as you guys know it as. We had a lot of games in the NFL. Some were entertaining, some not so much. I'm looking at you, Patriots, Broncos. Tyler, how you doing?
Fantastic. So both of our teams were slated for the 4 o'clock, which is rare for Florida, but hey, why
Which is
not?
why I didn't watch your game because I knew you would watch it.
Yeah, I mean we live for it. I mean, there's no worries. People were like, "Oh, gross! 2 4 o'clock games. They're both terrible." And meanwhile, we're sitting here just like giddy because it was the
Yeah.
best 4 o'clock schedule of our lives. Yeah, it was a great day. The Texans lost, which means our pick is just getting a little bit higher from them. I'm living over here. We're entitled town. Like every day's a gift. Go Bolts. Go Dolphins. Go all my teams. Feeling great over here.
Yeah. So before we get into the first game, I want to remind you guys that you can hit the button that looks like this if you enjoy this video at any point. You comment down below any of your thoughts, maybe some of your bad beats, some of your great victories in fantasy this week, maybe someone that disappointed you. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the notification bell so you're notified anytime we go live, anytime we post a video, all that good stuff. We're going to hit the intro and then we'll get into the first game. All right, so Texans and Titans was the first game on the docket here. Titans 42, Texans 36. I mean, Ryan Tannehill had a monster first half in this game, and we thought this was going to be like a huge Tannehill game, and it still was. 364 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick for Ryan Tannehill. He definitely performed as the top 10 quarterback I had him ranked as.
Yeah.
But man, Derrick Henry, 22 carries, 212 yards, had a long of 94, where when it actually happened, I was like, as soon as he broke the first tackle, I'm like, he's gone. That's a touchdown.
Yeah. He's a god. Well, more to that. It's not just the Derrick Henry's fantastic and he's great. It's wow, the Texans are just not a good tackling team. And again, like you said, once when he breaks the first one, good night. Yeah, he had a fantastic game. I mean, you're averaging almost 10 yards per carry. I mean, but that should have been expected. Every running back has done this against the Texans, and the Titans will get to do it one more time this season. So good for them. Derrick Henry just destroyed them. It's so funny.
Yeah, I think okay. So in this game, I was personally affected by this. Jonnu Smith left this game with a ankle injury, I believe they're calling it, and as a result, Anthony Ferkser had 8 receptions for 113 yards and a touchdown. That's all Jonnu's volume, and it annoys me that it went to another tight end. He actually had a couple catches before Jonnu went out, so it was a little annoying then too. Adam Humphries actually had a pretty solid game. AJ Brown, 2 touchdowns, 56 yards, had what was the game-winning touchdown as well for AJ Brown. Nice like fade route in the back of the end zone. Yeah, the Titans, man. The Steelers and Titans play next week. They're both 5-0. It's gonna be a great game.
Yeah.
And the Titans are looking like a top 3 team in the AFC, probably.
Surprise. I mean, I don't know. Were you high on them? Because I sure
I was
was.
high on them. I thought personally, I thought they were a touch below the Chiefs, Ravens, and Steelers. And then I thought it was like the Titans, or sorry, the Chiefs, Ravens, and Bills. And then it was like the Steelers and Titans.
Yeah,
But I mean, I think the Titans proved that they're better than the Bills, and I think they're better than the Ravens too.
that's fair. They look really really solid. I think that's like we're very much getting ready for no wild card teams to go anywhere and those 4 teams to meet in the semis. I mean, that just seems like it. That's what we all want. Even as a Dolphins fan, it's tough. But if we get to the playoffs, I would
And
love
get
for
rolled by whoever you're playing.
yeah. Thank you for destroying my. I was just gonna say, yeah, when we lose close, no, we're gonna get killed. Those 4 teams are just they're above everyone else, and I think the AFC has always been weak thing. I think that can be thrown away this year because there's 4 competent teams that could seriously win the Super Bowl, and I wouldn't even be blown away. And all 4 of those teams are fantastic. They could do it. As far as the Texans, has Watson just admitted at this point that this is his life and his reality? You saw when he lost the coin toss, he's like it's over. Like he almost
Oh,
he
100%.
almost knew it. It was so sad. Like he was like mad. He was like looking down. He laughed it off, but he knew his defense is horrible, and they need a first round pick. They need like a first round corner, but it's tough shit for them because we have it, and I'm not upset about that. Life is great here as a Dolphin fan.
Well, at least they have a second round corner they can draft. Oh shit, no, they don't have that either.
No, they don't. Oh, thanks, Bill O'Brien. That's why you got fired, not because your team couldn't win games, because you traded away their future. Randall Cobb went 0 for 1 in the game passing too. No, we're just joking. I'm not actually going to talk about that. But as far as receiving I mean, Houston's good. Like Houston offensively, fantasy wise, you roll with them. Like it's just gonna work out. Darren Fells, people were like, "Wow, he had a breakout."
I told some people to start him today, and I'm glad I did because he looked good. He not only did he play well, he actually looked good. Like he broke a couple big runs after the catch and stuff. Like if Jordan Akins is going to continue to be out, Darren Fells is a guy that you can stream. And Will Fuller and Brandon Cooks are doing exactly what I thought they would have done from the beginning of the season. They had a tough schedule, so it's understandable, but I mean, Will Fuller, besides the game he left in Baltimore where he, I can't remember what injury he left with, but he hasn't had a bust game other than that one. Like every game that he's played the whole game, he's been great.
Yeah, I blame Bill O'Brien for the reason that Brandon Cooks hasn't been able to really get going. I know that sounds weird, but like once when him and Watson really started hooking up last week, I mean, this has now been a thing. Like nine receptions, like I'm good with that. That's great volume for Brandon Cooks. 68 yards. I mean, that's whatever. I mean, he's getting touches. That's what I love. And again, we kind of touched on the receiving side for Tennessee. AJ Brown, 2 touchdowns. Thank you. Because there wasn't really like the deep ball that sometimes we expect out of him, but the 2 touchdowns were fantastic. We're very happy to see that. Again, you touched on Adam Humphries. Derrick Henry touched the ball a couple times. Khalif Raymond, who was that? I think a lot of people were sort of high on him. Kind of iffy game. But yeah, Jonnu, don't go pick up Ferks or Jonnu. That's Jonnu's volume. When he's healthy, he's going to get it.
Yeah, if Jonnu is out for next week, I don't hate a stream of Anthony Ferkser because the way to beat the Steelers, who they play next week, is through the air because they can't, you can't run on them.
Unless you're the Browns.
Yeah, unless you're the Browns. Jesus.
We love it.
One last thing, David Johnson, 3.0 yards per carry. David Johnson is going to be exactly what he is right now. He's going to get volume. He's going to be great. He has to score a touchdown or he's going to suck. That's basically because he's not explosive. He's not. He looks like he has like one good play a game where you're like, there's the David Johnson from 2015. And then every other play, he's like getting tackled in the backfield. And Duke Johnson might be the worst running back in the entire NFL from what I saw from him in this game.
We love Duke Johnson. What are you even talking about? No.
Yeah, I think they traded a third round pick for him too. Shout out Bill O'Brien.
Well, Bill O'Brien's a legend. Gifting out picks. We thank you, Bill. We can bounce to the next game though, right? We've about covered it.
Yeah, this next game, I swear to God, was on for like 10 times longer than the other games. Like anytime I looked at the clock, I was like, how long is left in this game? And there was like so much more time left. So the Indianapolis Colts somehow won this game 31-27, despite being down 21-0 to the Bengals during this game. Phillip Rivers actually had a good fantasy day. I mean, I don't think anyone was in their right mind was starting him, but it was a decent matchup. So if you were absolutely desperate, maybe you did. 371 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor averaged 5 yards a carry, but he only carried the ball 20 or 12 times, which is kind of weird because normally it's like the opposite. Normally he carries the ball like 25 times and averages like 3 yards a carry.
Yeah.
But
big tough.
As far as the Colts receiving goes, I don't care about any of these guys. Like I actually don't care. Like until Paris Campbell and Michael Pittman come back, I actually don't care about any of these guys because T.Y. Hilton caught 1 ball for 11 yards. Like he's droppable in my opinion. If you can somehow squeeze a trade out of someone based on name value, maybe you add them on like when you're trying to upgrade or something like that. But Marcus Johnson, I don't care. Like I don't care about Trey Burton. I don't care about Marcus Johnson. Jonathan Taylor, though, did get some usage in the passing game to help increase his stat line a bit. But I mean, the Colts offense is just not really one has a lot of really good fantasy options. I don't really know how else to explain it.
Yeah, you have one option and his name's Jonathan Taylor. And I think, and you know what? I was told this. Someone told me they're like Phillip Rivers actually had a good day, and I'm like, it's like I barely. I mean, like yeah. I mean, I guess stat wise, you look at it, okay, he had a decent game, but it's like I'm not. This offense feels like it goes nowhere until it has a better quarterback. Phillip Rivers is done. Like it's just he's done. I posted on Twitter. I said they need to go get Sam Darnold and save his career.
Yeah, I agree. I think I think if you're the Jets right now, just sell him. Try and get another one. Would you give up a first round pick if you're the Colts?
I
Yeah,
would.
I think I would too.
That's all they need. They just need a competent passer that needs a good line. Like Sam Darnold just needs a good line. Like you look at
Yeah.
Joe Flacco to do anything. You're not going to do anything in New York. They're going to go draft a quarterback because they're going to get pressured by the entire New York industry and
And why wouldn't you? You're gonna be like maybe win one game this year.
Oh, it's so
Like
bad.
you're gonna get Trevor Lawrence. Why not give him like you have 2 first round picks already with Seahawks pick from the Jamal Adams trade. If you get another pick from Indianapolis, that's 2 like back end of the first round picks. You
Yeah,
could go get a Devontae Smith for Trevor Lawrence or
go get line.
yeah, or you need to get another offensive lineman because right now all you have is Mekhi Becton on your offensive line.
And that's not fair to him. I mean, they've got to grow a line. They've got so many issues that like having Sam Darnold is not going to save you. You're not going to turn around next year and put up 8 wins. This team is not for that. You're trading away defensive pieces now because that they have value. Why don't you trade away your quarterback? Like it's just Sam Darnold's not going to win.
His confidence is shaken, man. He's not going to like if you go into this draft and you draft like a Penei Sewell and Jalen Waddle or something, like you get a weapon and another piece of protection for him. His confidence at this point in his career, he's taken a beating for 2 years.
Yeah.
3 years, sorry, 3 years. And it's just not like sometimes you can't like if he was coming into that situation as a rookie, then yeah, okay, that's great. You got like 2 tackles and a receiver for him. Like that's good. That's what you'd want for a guy like Trevor Lawrence. But Sam Darnold at this point in his career is not the same Sam Darnold that came out of USC.
Yeah, and steering it back to the Colts, that's who they need. They need a young guy,
or go get Jameis.
Yeah, exactly. You like go make a move for a quarter, and that sounds tough that we're saying that after this week, but you're facing a terrible defense. Philip Rivers
played a cake schedule in general too. Like the teams they've played. What did they play? Both New York teams.
Yeah, I mean they're and that's what we said when we did our predictive videos. We were saying the Colts were going to win a lot of games from the start, and the back end just gets tougher. Go get a quarterback that's going to actually be competent, and he has relationships with Michael Pittman. I know that sounds weird. You've been like Sam Darnold's been in the league a long time. Well, Michael Pittman was relevant at USC for a long time, as in like I think 5-year senior, and he was the captain. Like yes, no, they have a relationship that'll help. I think it just as a team that helps. As far as the Bengals side, Joe Mixon gets in the end zone. He got banged up. I think he came back for a little bit.
So he left this game with, I believe it was either a knee, hamstring, ankle, something like that. I couldn't remember exactly what the injury was, but he left in the, early second quarter and came back after halftime. He was stretching out on the sideline and stuff. I know a lot of people in my league were ripping on me because I traded for Joe Mixon in the infamous Aaron Jones for AJ Brown and Joe Mixon trade. Not looking so bad now. All of you guys that mocked me. But either way, Joe Mixon toughed it out, and I really hope he's fine. I hope that was just like he just got like he rolled his ankle or something like that, and he just can rest it for this week. But T. Higgins, man,
beauty.
I love it. AJ Green actually had a good game in this game too, which is weird, which is awesome for T. Higgins because he's just like outplaying him. It's not even like AJ Green's hurt and he's like that's the only reason T. Higgins is doing well. He's flat out outplaying the guy.
Yeah, and AJ Green looks so bad this game. I mean, he looks like he's given up again. And I know that sounds like tough because he had 8 receptions in 96. I think Burrow just like respects him, I guess. Will give him volume. But I mean, T. Higgins is just better. And he was my wide receiver 4 coming into the draft. I do not care. I love T. Higgins.
I was low on him. But he did go to a great situation. I will admit that.
Chenault's up there too. So, I mean, I think
like Chenault too. So I had Chenault above CeeDee Lamb. Not looking good because CeeDee Lamb looks like a stud also, but Laviska Shenault is looking really good also. So,
Judy Lamb, Chenault, and Higgins. So, yeah, I mean, great day. Somehow, I mean, these guys weren't getting touchdowns, but, like, the receiving crew, they looked all right. I mean, the top 3 guys that you want to get touches got touches. Auden Tate, that hype. I know he was out this game. It's just not going to be a thing. Those 3 are going to be the ones that get the volume. Tyler Boyd, only 5 receptions. I mean, that's hit or miss. I seriously believe so. If these guys have a little bit more touchdown opportunities, I guess that'll help. It's kind of weird when you like look at the receiving core, you're like, how did they score? Yeah, Giovanni Bernard had another touchdown, just end my life now. And Joe Burrow rushed one in as well.
Yeah, that was so annoying. Right at the beginning when Gio Bernard is on the field, I'm like, oh yes, like I see a 2 and a Bengals running back on his jersey, and I'm like, yes, he got in, and it's fucking Gio Bernard. Like, nope. That was the worst feeling ever. And then Joe Burrow gets the other like goal, it's like a quarterback sneak on the goal line. Anyway, we've been on this game for a while, so let's get to the next game. Atlanta Falcons hung a 40 burger on the Minnesota Vikings. Matt Ryan, this is what I expected to see from Matt Ryan in terms of his fantasy output and stuff. 371 and 4 touchdowns for Matt Ryan. Todd Gurley, shit as usual. 20 carries, 47 yards, 0 touchdowns. I told you I wasn't going to rank Todd Gurley super high. This is why, because he's not good. If he doesn't get in the end zone, he's not going to be good. Him and David Johnson, they're mid RB2s. You hope for a touchdown. It's what they are. Yeah. Julio Jones, though, man.
Beauty.
He looked good. He got into the end zone, which is not like Julio Jones. Hayden Hurst also in this game had an absolutely garbage time touchdown that saved his day because he was horrible for the whole game. And then he catches like a 30-yard touchdown or whatever it was, 35-yard touchdown.
35, yeah.
Calvin Ridley, also solid game for him. Russell Gage even contributes. This is what we thought we were going to see every week from the Atlanta Falcons offense.
Yeah, and fair enough. You know what? Props to Raheem Morris because the Bucs buried him as the head coach. They're
he was like 29 with a horrible roster when he coached our team, though. So
yeah, tough. Yeah. You guys sold the farm, and then you're like, hey, go get us some wins now. This was a good win for the Falcons. This was a horrible loss for the Vikings, though.
Yeah.
I think if you take what you take out of this is terrible win for the Vikings. Congratulations, you're now in a rebuild. Your defense is bad. It's atrocious. I even said it before the game. I'm like, if you have pieces, like any piece in this game offensively for your fantasy lines, please go put them out there. Julio, I didn't care that Julio was injured. I said, yeah, he's a little banged up. There's no one to guard him on the Vikings, and vice versa for the Falcons. And we're actually very scared for a while that these Vikings players just weren't going to do anything. And that's kind of what we got out of Adam Thielen. Thank you for the touchdown. Thank you. But yeah, Justin Jefferson is. I'm just gonna put this in your mind, even though I know he isn't. Is he the one for this offense?
Dude, that's honest to God, like probably the most shocking development of this entire season is how good Justin Jefferson has been his rookie season. He was my wide receiver 4 in the draft in terms of talent, but he looked like a project receiver. The way he like coming into the league, he didn't really play a lot of press man against at LSU, and when he did, he struggled against it. So I was like, man, this guy might struggle his rookie year, similar to like what we saw from like N'Keal Harry or Cortland Sutton in their rookie years. But man, this dude is good. Like he is flaming teams. Like that touchdown he had where he like rolled up on the defender and like extended over the goal line. Like he looks like Stephon Diggs out there.
Yeah, he looks really, really good. And we will, we'll give a little disclaimer. It's the Falcons. And I think Terrell was on it most of the game. But hey, we remember that last time.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, great game for him. Do we just expect, a 166 and 2 touchdowns every single week from him? Not when he's facing competent teams. But this was just a battle of 2 terrible teams who probably will have top 10 picks. But it was a fun one if you had fantasy implications, unless you had Dalvin Cook and you're just like, pissing and being all pissy on the sidelines, because Alexander Mattison did not do very much. And in all honesty, I was looking at it and I'm like, you know what, the Vikings are probably, it's not like you can't beat the Falcons with the rushing game, because you definitely can. But it was like, you probably should pass to beat them. And they were behind game script the whole time. And it sucks for people that tried to play Madison this week. I'm sorry. But it just wasn't your day. Kirk Cousins struggled mightily early, and it was just an attempt to come back. And Raheem Morris, baby, holding down the leads. That's something Dan Quinn can't do.
Yeah, I think if you take anything away from this game, the biggest fantasy thing going forward is going to be Irv Smith Jr. needs to be owned, because Irv Smith, I don't know what his snap share was. Follow me along on Twitter at Football Stock. It'll be on the screen right now. On Monday, when we get the route participation data and the snap share and stuff, I'm going to tweet this out, because this past week I said you should stash Irv Smith going into this game, because last game he outsnapped and outran routes over Kyle Rudolph. And I was like, okay, is this dude becoming the tight end 1 in Minnesota? Because if he is, man, they got an exciting young core on offense. You just need a better quarterback, to be honest, but and you need a defense, clearly. So yeah, we could probably get off this game, but go pick up Irv Smith if he isn't owned in your league.
Yeah. We jump to the next game, Broncos and Patriots. This is going to be the shortest one we talk about, because absolutely disgusting.
Brandon McManus,
baby, the field goal god. Yes, I was high on Jason Sanders. Now I'm high on McManus. I mean, geez, talk about red zone efficiencies. Only field goals. Drew Lock, you hurt my feelings. I started you in a league. Not that I did that on purpose. It was just like my last resort kind of situation. But damn, nobody was effective in this game. It was kind of a wash.
Yeah, I mean, like the only thing you can take, there's two things you take away from this. One,
Sure.
Philip Lindsay still looks good. Like he still looks good. Without Melvin Gordon in the game, he still rushed for 4.4 carry, got 23 carries as well. He got absolutely no work in the passing game. Albert Okuebunam had 6 targets. I guess maybe no, but like Noah Fant's going to be back, so I don't worry about that. And then I think the biggest takeaway from this is I bet Danny on this before. I was like, Julian Edelman ain't the same, dude. Like 2 receptions for 8 yards. Yeah, not great. Also, Damian Harris is not the RB1 in New England. The RB1 is Cam Newton. And
the RB2 is James White.
the RB2 is whoever the hell Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels feel like it should be that week. Like, you want to start Damian Harris? Go ahead. I know the running back pickings are slim, but he's going to disappoint half the time, if not more.
Yeah. Now start Tony Pollard or something crazy like that. I'd rather do that over Damian Harris. What we did learn is, yes, Edelman is no longer the wide receiver 1, and James White is. That's just tough. I think N'Keal Harry is a gift. I may drop him in every league that I own him. I'm talking deep league drop. Like, yeah, that sounds insane, but yes, he's not legit. Bill Belichick's a bad drafter. I'm going to say that. And then I said this earlier.
Receivers, he has been, to be honest, like historically, he hasn't been good at drafting receivers.
Yeah. And I said this earlier. I was talking to my stepdad about this. I'm fairly certain that it was Brady, not Belichick. I mean, I watched a lot of Patriots games as a Dolphin fan. I'm sorry. This was bad. Like, this is a Bronco team who everyone is very much shelled, at least offensively. And it's like, this is what you put up at home. Like, and I know the fans, whatever you want to play with that.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I think Brady, obviously, first of all, I think it's both. Like, it's not Brady or Belichick, it's both. Like, when you have two, like an elite quarterback and elite coach, obviously they're gonna be really good together. But we got to remember, this is a Patriots defense that's missing a lot of people. A lot of people opted out of the season.
You're welcome, Dolphins.
And the offense is bare bones. Like, it's not explosive. It's anemic. Like, it looked explosive early on. I don't know what the hell happened in this game. It's not like the Broncos defense is a bunch of stars on it. They're all injured for the Broncos. So I don't even want to talk about this game anymore because it actually was so boring to watch. All I saw was McManus field goals.
Hell yeah, baby.
Yeah. Speaking of boring to watch, the New York Giants 20, Washington football team 19. For whatever reason, Ron Rivera decided to trust Kyle Allen on a 2-point attempt to try and win this game. And everyone's like, oh, Riverboat Ron. It's like, okay, I guess that's like what you're known for. You're known for going on fourth down and going for the win and 2-point conversions. But you got to remember who your supporting cast is. Like, you got Kyle Allen and fucking nobody else out there other than Antonio Gibson and Terry McLaurin. And Kyle Allen not a good game from him. Daniel Jones, also not a good game. Just bad football offensively for the most part in this entire game. So Antonio Gibson gets his usual 14 touches, 15 touches that he always gets. I'm really hoping that his role is going to expand. It hasn't quite happened yet. I don't know what's taking so long. But he's going to continue to be a back end, or high end RB3 because he's explosive and he gets some volume. He doesn't get a lot of volume. He gets some volume, but it's such a bad football team that he doesn't have really that much upside unless he does everything himself.
JD McKissick's a legend. Come on. You can't discount my boy JD. Yeah, tough. And then you look at the receiving core for really both teams. I mean, gross.
Terry's matchup proof, though. This was statistically speaking, this has been the worst matchup. Shadowed by James Bradbury, and Terry McLaurin didn't kill you.
Yeah, that's true. And James Bradbury has been very, very solid. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, and then on the other side, we'll look at it this
also
way.
Evan Ingram sucks. I don't want to if I load the ECR this week and I see Evan Ingram as a top 10 tight end. I went off on the start sit show last week. I'm like, why is Evan Ingram still in the top 10 in ECR? Like, he hasn't done anything this season. And if I load it this week and he's still in the top 10, I'm going to lose my shit.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, we can look at it. We can look at it as, wow, these receivers suck, or wow, Daniel Jones threw the ball 12 times. Well, he had 12 completions,
Yeah,
19
like
times thrown. If you
another team that might need a quarterback. Both these teams, they're probably going to need quarterbacks.
oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
Daniel Jones' experiment has failed. I'm sorry. Like the back end of last year's shit, whatever.
Is
Like,
Joe Judge going to go one and done?
who?
Joe Judge, the Giants coach. Because okay, if Daniel Jones sucks this whole season, Dave Gettleman's gone, right? Like they're gonna fire Dave Gettleman.
Oh yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
it.
So if you're gonna fire Dave Gettleman, why not just fire Joe Judge too?
That's fair. That would be tough.
You're gonna get a new quarterback because you're probably gonna have a top 3 pick, top 5 pick. Like you're gonna get Justin Fields or Trey Lance, because I don't think they're gonna be worse than the Jets. Or the Jets just pick Penei Sewell and they give you Trevor Lawrence. Like I don't fucking know, but
the Jets are they're gonna pick some experiment. They're gonna go like wide receiver at the first.
Yeah, they're gonna pick Jamar Chase first overall.
I love that. That's such a Jet move. All right, yeah. So yeah, they both need to draft a quarterback. They probably Giants probably need a rehaul. I mean, Sarah, this is rough. The line has not been improved, although it was apparently in the draft.
They benched Andrew Thomas in this game. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Like, yeah, he's struggling. Let the kid learn. Like, you're not winning games.
You're not gonna win games.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you won this one. I mean, but this was a game where like, who cared who won? I mean, what you're doing is you're hurting your draft stock by winning this game. Like, this is shades of Dolphins Bengals last year, where we were all hyped for Week 16 Dolphins Bengals because one of those teams were going to get the one. And then the Dolphins started winning games, but that's what this gave me the feeling of.
They did this last year too. The Giants beat the Washington football team last year, and the Washington football team got Chase Young because of it.
Yeah, I shouldn't say you should just lose games on purpose, but this one felt like one you should have. Anyways, very, very tough game. Also, Devontae Freeman, people, stop.
I mean, he's getting the volume. He's going to be an RB3, whether we like it or not, because he's getting volume. That's it. You gotta hope he falls in the end zone. It's the only hope you got.
These are the Eagles games. Please let us move on.
Yeah, it's Ravens Eagles, and somehow the Philadelphia Eagles almost won this game, despite probably the most atrocious football I've ever seen in my life. The Ravens win this game 30-28.
Yeah.
So Lamar Jackson didn't have a great day passing for what I would say. He only threw the ball for 186 yards and 1 touchdown, but he did run 9 carries for 108 yards and a touchdown. So if you started him in fantasy, he definitely helped you out there. Mark Ingram, pretty big news in my opinion in terms of the Ravens backfield is that Mark Ingram got hurt in this game. He did end up returning, but he was limited after that. So, I mean, Mark Ingram's an older player. If he's going to be banged up, then I expect these 2 young guys, which they did in this game, to lead the backfield to some degree with Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. And Edwards and Dobbins, neither of them could really get anything done on the ground. But to be honest, the running lanes weren't great, and the Eagles' run defense is pretty good. So I don't really blame them for that.
Yeah, we have to say that. The Eagles can do some things right, and that is stopping the run. Fletch, we love you. You're gonna die an Eagle, and it's gonna be a sad life for you.
I gotta take an L here real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a quick W because I actually told people to bench Marquise Brown, and I was right. So good because he had Darius Slay in coverage. So good on me. But I said last week, I'm like, all right, if Travis Fulgham does it again, I'll believe. I believe. All right. Travis Fulgham, as of right now, is the wide receiver to own there. He got 10 targets. Like, again, he had double-digit targets, 6 receptions, 75 yards, and a touchdown. Zach Ertz got hurt in this game, too.
Doesn't matter. I still want to drop him. I'm not going to, but I still want to drop him.
Here's why it matters, though. I don't know who said this. Someone said this on a podcast that Dallas Goedert is set to come back soon. And if Ertz is out for any period of time and Goddard comes back alone as the only tight end,
maybe it for him. Ertz maybe on the move. Like, honestly.
Yeah, like, pretty much.
Like, they could use a pick. Seriously, they could use a pick. Ertz is tied to a big contract. He's really not valuable to this team anymore. I know that sounds like tough, but
it almost slows their offense down to like focus Ertz as the focal point.
Yeah, they need help badly. I mean, why'd you take a wide receiver in the first round? What are you doing? Like, you need more than that. But I guess they do need.
What do you mean? Why did you take a wide receiver in the first round? Why did you take a backup quarterback in the second round?
That's fair. I mean, see, this is the thing. When you're bad at drafting, it shows. Like,
they want to be a quarterback factory.
Yeah,
That was their rationale. Anyway, Miles Sanders also got hurt in this game. After it was actually hilarious because the guy I was playing against had Miles Sanders, and Miles Sanders busts off a huge run, fumbles the ball, and JJ Arcega-Whiteside picks it up. So not only did Miles Sanders lose 2 points for the fumble, he also didn't get like the potential goal line carry that he would have been because he was down inside the 5-yard line, and because JJ picked it up and scored a touchdown.
So JJ Arcega-Whiteside,
I think that was his first touchdown of his career too.
I think his stat sheet should read 0 receptions, 0 yards, and a rushing touchdown, right? Something like that, like a 7-yard rushing touchdown or something weird.
I have no idea.
I don't even know how that goes. I think that maybe that touchdown's washed. Like,
it didn't count against the Ravens defense because I played against the Ravens defense in my fantasy matchup. I'm like, wait, the Eagles scored this like touchdown, didn't count against their defense.
Yeah. Oh, that's tough. Yeah. So So whatever. It's JJ Arcega-Whiteside. Congratulations for finding the end zone for the one and only time in your career. Yeah, this game felt like a wash too. Like, I mean, it feels like, I guess my taking points is the Ravens aren't that great. Their record's a little bit better than I think they are. I know that sounds tough, but the Eagles are a team that's not good offensively. You shouldn't be giving up 28 points to them.
No. And they were dominating this game for a large majority of this game. They were dominating it. And then the Eagles just had a bunch of like big plays in the fourth quarter. They just had a bunch of broken plays, bunch of big plays, couple big penalties that happened to the Ravens. Like I don't know how the hell they almost won this game, but they were a 2-point conversion away from tying it.
And I can't say that Carson Wentz should lose his job. We've been high on that in this show so far because
he's working with nothing. Like, why does everyone get hurt on his offense?
Yeah, this is why you don't take a quarterback in the second round that you think you're just going to be like a fun quarterback. Like, stop. Like, you need help. You don't do that if you need help. You do that if you win the Super Bowl and you can take a luxury of taking a running back in the first round. That's when you do that goofy shit. Like, you can't be doing that if your team is seriously not ready. It was fairly evident that this team was not ready to do stuff like that, and they did it in the draft. And here you go. It's showing week 5. Week 6, tough.
I think it's just crazy when you think about what this starting offense of this team would have been. Like, if everyone was healthy, the starting offense would be what? Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, Jalen Reagor, right? Those would be their 3 receivers, none of which are healthy. Then if you go to the tight end, neither tight end is healthy right now.
You can even throw Goodwin, right? Marquise Goodwin.
Him too, because he opted out. And then offensive line wise, like what, Jason Kelsey's the only starter left right now? Or is Lane Johnson healthy? Like their left tackle, their left guard, their right guard, they're all hurt.
Brandon Brooks. Yeah, it's a mess. I mean, you feel bad for Wentz because seriously, this is just, and they'll somehow win the division because just why not? Like, just why not?
I saw a stat that said if the Giants somehow held on and beat the Cowboys last week, they'd be in first in the NFC East right now.
Lord, I don't need to hear. None of these teams have more than 2 wins. It's a joke.
Yeah, if the Cowboys beat the Cardinals, they're going to be like comfortably in first, I think.
Which is so sad. Anyways, that was 3 straight terrible games that maybe one score wasn't that bad, but it felt like 3 straight terrible games because now we
shouldn't have even talked about them as long as we did. So another absolute shellacking took place. Pittsburgh Steelers 38, Cleveland Browns 7 points. Yeah. Okay, so here's my NFL overall takeaways is that the Browns are going to be like the 7 seed and get shellacked in the first round. Probably. That's basically what's going to happen.
They may be the 6 because the Dolphins are going to be the 7. No, the Dolphins will be the 6. Yeah, baby.
But I think this is probably going to be like a playoff matchup, and the Steelers are just going to kill them.
Oh, they're going to murder them. This is such a bad matchup for Cleveland. Like, this is like if Cleveland the worst matchup in the league for Cleveland is the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they have to face them twice, and there's probably playoff.
Probably the second worst matchup is the Baltimore Ravens, who they also have to face twice.
Yeah, and they probably will face in the playoffs if they make it. I mean, seriously, this team is a team that depends on running, and if the running isn't working, and you have to force, if Baker's ever in a situation where he is forced to do stuff offensively and not be carried by his run game, that's why Case Keenum was in the game. I mean, just saying, he's not an effective quarterback when all the pressure's on him. I can't blame Kareem Hunt for, not looking fantastic in this
running into a brick wall of a defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's what the Steelers do. They're going to stop you on the run. You beat them with pass, and Baker does not beat anyone with a pass. I mean, it's just tough. I guess unless you're Dallas, and then really
They were
anywhere.
in his face, hitting the shit out of him too, the whole game.
Yeah, the line's not fixed.
No.
It has good pieces. It's not the Giants line. It's not the Eagles line. But
I don't want to go as far as to say it's like a bad line, but the Steelers front is fierce.
That's true. That's true.
And
We'll give them that.
this like Jedrick Wills and like Jack Conklin, who's never really been that great of a pass protector, like these guys are going to be good enough, obviously, to beat bad teams. But I mean, the Browns are lucky they have an easy schedule because the Steelers and Ravens, you're going to lose both games.
Oh, you're going to get killed. I mean, this is just going to be the thing. This will be probably the score again. I mean, and it's not like the Steelers offense is overwhelming. It's just like if you can't stay on the field, your defense is going to die. And that's just what happened. Mason Rudolph got in the game. I was really hoping we'd see a fight. We didn't. Big sad. That's okay. Both backups came into this game. One because it was a comfortable lead, and the other because it was not a comfortable lead. As far as other offensive values, obviously we talked about Kareem Hunt 13 for 40. It was tough.
It's a bad matchup
because you had to, because you're like, okay, there's no Nick Chubb. They'll probably feed him 15 times. It got close, I guess, but tough. And the receivers, when Baker's not on, here's your receiving core for Cleveland.
I said this was a possibility. I was like, man, I like the matchups for Odell and Jarvis because the Steelers are beatable through the air, but there's a possibility that this happens and they can't do anything offensively.
Yeah. And then on Pittsburgh's end, they really didn't have to do anything offensively. The reason you see James Conner with 20 carries is because they had to do something for the second half of the game, because they went into halftime up 24-7, and they threw up a few more touchdowns even then after that.
You posed the Justin Jefferson question, so I'll pose this one. Is Chase Claypool the wide receiver one of the Steelers?
This is
not in terms of volume, in terms of talent, he might be.
Let me compare it to another situation in the same division where I praise AJ Green. I love AJ Green because I'm a Tyler Boyd owner, and I love that he takes the one. Well, here's your situation here in Pittsburgh. It's the exact same one where Juju's going to take the one, and whoever's next in line,
Deontay Johnson's going to take the two.
Yeah, it's a Claypool. I mean, Ben is smart. Like, Ben is not a dumb quarterback, and I think Burrow the same. Like, they're just going to go to the guy that's not getting just absolutely just locked down. So, yes, Claypool, fantasy-wise, is the one. He's not the actual physical one. Juju is, but Juju's going to get the
might be by the end of this year, though, if he keeps playing like this.
That's fair. I think teams will start focusing on him a little bit more, just because he's going to be the one that does work, which hopefully opens up some stuff for Juju. I don't have him in a league, but I do like the kid. He's a fun guy. Claypool gets rushing carries and gets touchdowns too. He's so fun. Isn't he fun? I spent $74 on him in Fab in a league. Like, I don't care. Like, he's fun.
That's pretty high value there. I don't know what the hell you're going to do with Juju Smith-Schuster though. Like, if you own Juju, like,
tough. Sorry.
I don't know what to do. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I know I'm going to get asked about it. I know people are going to be like, what do I do with Juju? Should I sell him? Should I drop him?
Oh, don't drop him.
Don't drop him, but don't sell him. You have to hold him, bench him if you need to, like, if you have better options. But man, he hasn't done anything since week 1.
He's not a league wide receiver one. I think I'm going to be honest with you. AB really did a thing.
He was right.
I mean, he should be career wide receiver 2 for teams. If he's a 1, he's just going to get locked in. There's nothing he can do.
Well, he is a 2 because Claypool's the 1.
Oh, well, nice. But he's not your Julio type. He's not.
I bet it's going to happen, man. I bet teams are going to start shifting towards Claypool.
They may. And hopefully that opens up stuff for Juju, but I think he'll still get attention. But yeah, I think you're right. I don't know if I'd sell Claypool. I just think it just looks too good volume-wise.
No, I'm not selling him.
And he does so well with the volume, too. Like, he's so good.
I'll admit I was dead wrong on that dude, man. Holy shit. Every time he touches the ball, it's like electric.
So fun. He's so fun. And you know what? I was wrong on him out of college. I'll admit that. But once when I saw last week, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to take
yeah. No. I was on board when I saw last week. But I was on board, honestly, like, since week 1. Like, when he, what was the play where he had, like, the long touchdown or whatever? Like, early in the season, he had, like, that toe tap catch on the side. Like, he's been making plays all season. It's just a matter of opportunity for him. He's finally getting on the field because Johnson's been banged up.
Yeah, which sucks for Deontay because he's sliding down to the 3. And then James Washington Truther's like, take your touchdown this week, but he's the 4 when Deontay comes back. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. So yeah, Baker lap here on my end because he can't do anything when he's depended on. So tough.
Yeah. All right. On to the next game. The 5-1 Chicago Bears. I can't believe that.
In the league.
Are they in the lead in the NFC North right now?
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess they would have to be because, we'll get to that later. But 23-16 over the Carolina Panthers. Nick Foles, absolutely pedestrian showing in this one, but they still killed him. David Montgomery, absolutely pedestrian showing in this one. Allen Robinson, kind of pedestrian. Like, how did they win this game?
I'll tell you. And I was high on this because someone had asked me earlier in the week. They were like, someone trusted that I'm a kicker expert. They're like, hey, Tyler, what's our thoughts on Sly this week? And I'm like, I'll tell you what my thoughts are. I think the Bears are one of the maybe even the best red zone defense. They hold teams. When they get there, they hold them. And I know the Panthers are kind of like, and I know the Bears have faced easy teams, but what that defense has done in the red zone preventing touchdowns keeps this terrible offense in games to win games like this, 23-16. Perfect example of what we'll see the Bears win games like. Outside of games where they have to shoot out with the Falcons, which, is barely a defense in its own right, but this is what we should expect. The Bears defense, even though they're old, still really, really good. And the red zone holding has been fantastic. This is a good team. Not offensively, but defensively. Like, I'm not saying it's shades of a couple of years ago, but the defense is still there. Like, don't forget about it. That's why they're winning games. That's why they're 5-1.
Yeah, okay. So my thoughts on this is, why was this such a good week of football? Because we didn't have Thursday night football. And if we didn't have Thursday night football last week, I can assure you the Bears would be 4-2 right now. Like, they're not going to beat good teams. The Bears are not going to beat good teams. It's not going to happen.
You beat the Packers. You needed that loss to win this week.
For sure. But okay, so quickly on the Panthers side of things, Mike Davis is human, apparently, not like a fucking beast of nature like he was the past couple weeks. So obviously,
it's a good team against a team that can actually stop the run. Imagine.
I know they couldn't stop Ronald Jones 2 weeks ago. Anyway, DJ Moore gets 11 targets in this one. Kind of nice to see there. That he almost had a touchdown and he got absolutely drilled when he was about to catch the ball. Robbie Anderson, also human, not a freak of nature, but he did have a crazy catch along the sideline that was pretty wild. Nothing really to take away from the Panthers matchup. This was a tough defense to go up against. So, I mean, you kind of had to temper expectations for the two Panthers guys.
Teddy Beans is tough. Like, I don't know how good Teddy Bridgewater is. I mean,
he got fucking drilled a couple times.
I know it's tough. I understand the situation. The Bears are a good defense. That's what I led off with. But I don't know if we want to talk about the next team that needs a quarterback. But I don't really think Teddy Beans
Dude, it's low key seeming like. Do you remember like earlier on in this season, we're like, man, no one needs a quarterback anymore. Like, where are these guys gonna go?
Yeah,
we're starting to get some openings.
Oh yeah. No, guys are showing their colors.
Like Daniel Jones is looking like shit. Baker Mayfield looking like shit. Like, we got some teams that are going to be like potentially in the quarterback market now, when it looks like it was like, oh my God, where the hell's Trey Lance going to go? Only 2 teams need quarterbacks.
Hey, don't sleep on a team like the Panthers. That I guarantee you, Joe Brady, right? That's his name. I always forget his name. Yeah, he will salivate at the fact that he won't get a
Trey Lance would be an awesome fit for that team.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? The two other
I would hate that, because I think the Panthers are going to be a very good team in the future, because I think Rule's a hell of a fucking coach.
Like, their record's just too high. Like, they're 3-3. I know it sounds crazy. If they just win a couple games, they're going to screw themselves from getting a high-end quarterback, because that's just how bad some of these other teams are. But yeah, that's
man. The thing is, though, is like, you can see it with teams like the Panthers. If you're a fan of the Jets or the Washington football team, or like any of these teams that suck, when it starts at ownership with Tepper coming in, taking over that team, he hires a great coaching staff. They're just doing the friggin' Lord's work right now. They're going to be a good team in the future. Whether they get their quarterback this year, next year, like whenever it is, they're going to be a good team.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right, so on to the next game. Not good teams, this one, but
no.
the Detroit Lions hang 34 on the Jacksonville Jaguars, who put up 16 points. Matthew Stafford, a bit of a down game in this one from what a lot of people expected him to do. I mean, kind of unlucky, though, the fact that a lot of the touchdowns in this game were scored by running backs and not passed for. Speaking of running backs, I literally said this on Friday's ranking show. I was like, between Cam Akers, J.K. Dobbins, and DeAndre Swift is the only one who still has a chance to take over his backfield. I think it's hopeless for the other two guys. But
Cam Akers, Dobbins, and Swift?
Swift, man, 14 carries, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns, along with 54. Also, he had 4 targets, caught 3 balls. He's not the workhorse back in this backfield, obviously, but it helps. The fact that he was able to get into the end zone, score some touchdowns, make a big run, it helps. It helps him work his way into Adrian Peterson not being a thing anymore.
Whoa, AP had a touchdown today. I started him in a league. Don't bash.
Yeah, he also averaged 2.7 a carry.
Yeah, no, you love to see it. I don't know if I maybe I'll, you know what, I'm gonna say it because I've said it a few times. This is a game the Lions should lose. Like if they want their quarterback, they should have lost this game. But whatever,
they have their quarterback, dude. They need a coach.
Yeah, well, that's fair, dude. Matt Patricia's a legend.
If Matt Rule was coaching this team, they'd be like 5-1. I'm telling you right now.
Matt Rule's a good guy. I'm happy with him.
Any Matt other than Matt Patricia coaching this team.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Gardner.
Also, you could drop Marvin Jones.
Fair. Yeah,
you can drop him. He hasn't done anything.
Oh, he's hurt me. He's hurt me a few times, actually.
I wasn't trusting him this week, or honestly, since like the first 2 times he disappointed everyone, I was like, yeah, I'm not trusting this dude anymore.
Fine. Question for you. You have to pick up one guy. Marvin Jones or Marvin Hall. You know what I mean? No.
Actually, I could go with Jamal Agnew. Just kidding.
Oh, geez. Yeah, what a situation that is. Kenny Galladay's back, and he's your wide receiver 1 for that offense. Thank you, Kenny Beans. Yeah, only 4 receptions. I don't care. Gardner's terrible. I mean, Gardner's, gosh, this team's bad, though. This team's bad, so I'll give him that. But
I honestly, again, like, I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback either. Like,
it sucks. I
have no idea because I think they're going to be bad. Like, I think they're going to have a top 8 pick, but man, there might be a bidding war up at the top of the draft.
That's what I'm saying. Like teams that like maybe don't need a quarterback, I would that is a gold first round pick. Like
yeah, for sure. If you're I'm trying to think of who's a team that's bad right now that doesn't need a quarterback. Pretty much all of them need one.
Yeah, well, we were thinking at the times, we're like, okay, well, if the Jets get it and they're dumb and they keep Sam Darnold and kill his career, I mean maybe
trade down. I guess it's not a terrible idea.
Smart enough to do that. That's my thing. So get roasted. But there's a few teams that actually no. I don't think there's any more teams where we could say they wouldn't take Lawrence. Yeah, I think all of them would.
No, I think literally any team with the first overall pick would pick Lawrence unless it's like the Chiefs or the fucking but that would never happen because they're never going to be that bad.
Or the Dolphins, baby. You
have a franchise quarterback, there's no chance that you're finishing with the first overall pick. So
yeah, absolutely.
Unless you're the Houston Texans.
Please, because that's the Dolphins pick, baby, and then we're selling it. Could you imagine if the Texans lose out and the Dolphins sell that first round pick for like gold, and we're just gonna be a dynasty? I love it. All right.
All right. So on the Jags side, real quick, James Robinson, also human, doesn't get an elite fantasy day. Even like the Lions have low key like shut running backs down because they shut down Kenyon Drake too. I remember when he had a smash matchup.
The Jets did so.
Yeah. I mean, wide receiver wise, 14 targets for DJ Chark. You like to see that. Obviously, they were very inefficient targets because I mean, I didn't really watch a whole lot of this game, so I couldn't tell you if he got missed or anything. But I'd imagine Gardner just played like shit.
Yeah.
Keelan Cole, man, holy shit.
Don't buy it though.
Don't buy in. Like Chark, it goes Chark, Shenault, Cole. Like that's the hierarchy of targets in this offense. Cole just got lucky.
And it's the Jaguars, so it's like you don't even want to have to mess with the number 2 or 3. Like just
Well, I think Shenault is worth messing with, but not Cole.
Long term, I think definitely. James Robinson did catch a touchdown. What a beauty! He had 4 receptions. You like to see it. If you own him, I do. I actually just sold James Robinson for Jared Goff in a Superflex league, and I feel like a smart human being. He's. I don't know how I feel about him. I don't know if I'm going to tell you to sell him, but this team isn't good. So it's like
It's
maybe,
not. Yeah. Do you want to talk about my team first or your team first?
Well. I think people would tune out. I think we'd lose Jets fans if we talked about my team first.
Oh yeah, so we didn't mention the teams that were on bye this week, but the Jets were absolutely one of those teams because they are a thorough dumpster fire. They got rinsed.
It's tough. So we are starting with my team. Okay, hey Jets
Yeah.
fans, go ahead and click out of this one. If Bush didn't scare you already by saying that this team was on bye. Yeah, they were on bye week. Their offensive line was on bye. Poor Joe Flacco, who decided, hey, let's end our career as a Jet. Like what? Where is your brain? But anyways, terrible decision by him. Frank Gore's still a living legend, but he's not doing it against the Dolphins. LaMichael Pirine, yeah, seven carries, 27 yards. Go Gators. No, they have no running backs. They have
Jamison Crowder.
They have Jamison Crowder. Sure.
Crowder and Mekhi Becton are their only pieces on offense going forward.
That's fair. Yeah, I think that's a very, very yeah. And then you could talk about Mims too, but where has he been? Right? I mean, what a joke. But yeah, the Jets, congratulations. You can get your Trevor Lawrence. And like I said last week, it doesn't matter because you're the only team he can go to and you're still going to be terrible. I'm sorry.
He might go back to school, man.
Yeah, he may actually. Like he may pull an Eli Manning. And unlike the Eli Manning situation, no one would be upset. Like everyone would be like, you know what?
Yeah.
Good for the kid. He saved his career because you saw what Darnold did. I like Darnold out of college.
Darnold was a great rookie, like a prospect. He was great.
Yeah, and he has died. And yeah, he didn't play today, but he has died on the Jets, and you will too if you're a quarterback and you go there. I don't blame you. Number one, I don't blame the fans. If you want to leave, find another team. You want to join the Dolphins? You're pathetic. So don't go find another team. Maybe the Giants. Don't go to the Giants.
Reach the Bucks.
Bills or something. Find another team, please. No one will fall to you. Number two, the Jets. It's just it's terrible. And then I can talk about my team if I really want. The Dolphins defense is seriously really good. Like I know. Yeah, okay, it's the Jets. All right, breathe. They faced the 49ers last week and they shut them down. This is a good defense. Xavier Howard has 4 straight games with an interception. The cornerbacking crew is there. Everything is fine. Everything's kosher there. Eric Rowe looked really, really solid. I think all of our secondary is there. I mean, I feel really solid about this team. Byron Jones kept it locked down. We got our kid, Igbenogany. Yeah, I love saying that name. He's all right. And then we got pressure. I mean, these guys we signed as free agents have done fantastically. Ogba's been a monster. Wilkins doesn't have the pressure like he had last year to produce because he's got these veterans around him that are doing the dirty work. Wilkins just will get a sack a game, and it looks fantastic. This team's defense is really, really good. And then if you want to talk about the offense, because I just blew our defense there for a little bit, I'm loving being a Dolphin fan right now.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Your team definitely. I mean, speaking of your future, you got to see Tua play. I didn't see it. I was watching the Bucks game because I figured you'd be watching this game. So, what did Tua look like? Did you see it?
Yeah. I'm not putting any weight into this.
I'm not saying like, oh, he's a bust because he fucking like threw an incomplete pass or something. But like,
he was 2 for 2. I mean, I'm not. But I'm not going to hold on to this as what should I expect for Tua in the future? Because this is it's the Jets, and it's a situation where they were so far ahead that who cares? Like it was basically the game was over when the Dolphins scored the first touchdown.
He's got to get fired, right? Oh, I would fire him right fucking now. Like just get him out of the building before he does something else.
Yeah,
Marcus May is looking like a great piece for you. Like before Adam Gase pisses him off too, or Mekhi Becton off, or like any of your pieces that you actually have, get him out of the building.
I mean, you have good players. It's just like, well, not
really, but like
you have a select few good players, but they're gonna run away too. You're turning into Jacksonville, but Jacksonville was turning into you. I don't know. You're both terrible. Fitzmagic looked all right. This team is offensively agitating, I would say, as a viewer, because I'm like, okay, the red zone offense needs to be boosted. I know that sounds kind of tough. They had 3 touchdowns. The game was over again after they scored the first touchdown, because like the only way the Jets were going to win is if we scored no points and they scored no points and it was a tie. It was just like Gaskin got his volume. If the Dolphins are leading in a game and it's like this back-to-back weeks, Gaskin has gotten a shit ton of carries because that's just what it is. The receiving core, throw it away. This game, if
Mike
you have,
Gesicki dropped the donut in this game if he started him.
it's high. I did. I say
Adam Shaheen somehow like made plays, and Durham Smythe also another. I think he's a tight end, maybe.
Yeah, Adam Sheehan and Durham Smythe, both tight ends, both caught a touchdown. That hurts for Gesicki's owners.
Yeah, like I don't know what the heck. Like, okay, so here's the thing with the Jets though, is they have one good corner. His name's Brian Poole, and he plays the slot, and Mike Gesicki plays a lot in the slot.
Yeah, no, he's really good. I would see
He
that's
got a pick in this game too.
Yeah, he did. Well, Fitzmagic threw 2. I mean, I feel like if Tua played this game, like I wouldn't have faulted the Dolphins for saying, "Hey, Tua, you can play this game," but like only because it's a practice squad game, like because he probably could have hung 24 with these, probably even more than that. Yeah. I would say watch it if you're a Dolphin carrier of fantasy players, because this game was over literally after the first touchdown. Yeah. When I say that, I'm not joking. Watching this game, I'm like, "Oh, they scored, good, it's over, congrats." Yeah. We rolled on the first drive. That was it. This team looks defeated. The Jets look like they don't care. Like they look like what we expected the Dolphins to look like last year when we sold everyone. They're actually looking like what the Bengals were last year, or actually what the Lions and the Browns were when they finished 0-16. Because who are the Jets going to beat? Like they're going to have to do what the Falcons did: fire Dan Quinn, fire Adam Gase, and get like a victory win with an interim head coach that everyone loves. Like that's what it's going to have to be for this team to win a game.
Well, who's going to be that guy? Because no one likes Greg Williams either.
Yeah.
Like your organization is so dumb that they put fucking Greg Williams and Adam Gase as your primary coaching staff. Like, I can't believe, like, you're admitting that you hate winning if you just keep these guys as your coach. Like, clean the fucking house. Take Rashad Perryman out of there. Throw Denzel Mims in. You want to see what you have in your young guys. You're gonna probably go 0-16, 1-15, but you gotta see what you have in your young guys. Get your shit coaching staff everywhere out of this building. Yeah. Anyway, let's get off this game because it fucking sucked.
What? That was a great game. Come on.
Game of the week in terms of probably record and like definitely like called America's game of the week and like the crew that they had on this. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers absolutely shellacked the Green Bay Packers 38-10. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, if you didn't watch this game, I don't know what you're doing, but if you didn't watch this game, it was not Tom Brady that shellacked the Green Bay Packers. He had a solid game, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns, didn't really make a lot of mistakes, didn't really like wow you with anything either. Ronald Jones carried the load on the ground, 23 carries, 113 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He had a great game. Third straight game, 100 yards rushing, by the way. And Leonard Fournette was a surprise inactive for this game. So, I mean,
I cut him. I cut him in a league to start Drew Lock. No joke. Tough.
Yeah, like Ronald Jones is a top 15 running back.
Yeah, that's fair.
And another thing here is the number 1 defense in fantasy this year is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay. All right. Now, I see. I don't blame you because you got to get scores, and you almost had 2 pick sixes in this one. I know you had 1.
And we blitz like crazy too.
Yeah, that's true. I would say that your defense is number 1 legit, but what I would say is, again, I said it kind of earlier, you needed to lose to the Bears to win this game. There were so many.
I don't think we did. Like, okay, I kind of agree with you, because one thing that's also completely fucked up, if you watched the Bears game last week, the one thing you came away from saying that game was like, this team is undisciplined. The Bucs are undisciplined. They're sloppy. 0 penalties, 0 turnovers. 0. It was a 3 for 3. 0 penalties, 0 turnovers. What was the other one? I can't remember what the other thing was.
0 touchdowns given up in the second half. 0 touchdowns given up after the first quarter.
0 sacks allowed too.
Oh yeah. Wow, what a day for you guys. I mean, seriously, that's what I'm saying. Like Brady got to you. He got to you good. Like
he ripped off. He was like, we're practicing until we puke, probably is what he said the first day of practice.
Love to see it. And it worked. I mean, this is the team we were expecting. Like, I know Green Bay, like it's a good team, but like, damn, like I feel bad that they had to be the next team to face Tom Brady angry. Like Tom Brady was not happy and they had to be the next in line. They could thank their in-division rival Bears for causing this.
Yeah, pretty much. And another weird thing to say about this game, Rob Gronkowski, the leading receiver of this team.
Woo!
Like, okay, so am I worried about Mike Evans? No, because this was a bad matchup. He was being shadowed by a Jair Alexander, and Jair Alexander was the #1 graded corner per PFF coming into this game. So, and I've said this before, Mike Evans, as much as you don't want to bench a guy you spent a 3rd-round pick on, is benchable in bad matchups because he pretty much is exactly what you expect. If you expect him to play bad, he's going to. If you expect him to play good, he's going to.
Fair. Yeah, and then another thing you can kind of tack on is even after Tampa Bay tried to release him to waivers and no team picked him up, Tyler Johnson got a touchdown in this game. Yeah, a little hockey joke. That's just for the boys out there. Yes.
He looks good too. He's a young receiver. He's going to develop into like a number 3 guy or whatever. Like he looks good. A lot of people liked him coming out of Minnesota. He was a great receiver there.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's pretty much it on this game too. To be honest, like Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he ran into a buzzsaw defense that was pissed off. That's what happened.
An angry defense, we'll say that, because that's what it was. This team was just playing furious, and yeah, I think if they lost,
you could start this defense against any team. When we play Kansas City in like week 12 or whatever, you could start them.
Fair.
Like they blitz so much, we score a lot on offense, and we get a lot of turnovers because we play so much man coverage. Like you could play this defense against anyone.
Reasonable. Yeah, no, I wouldn't blame you for doing so. We could talk Devontae Adams, 6 receptions, 61. I mean, fair, good game, 10 targets. You should have 10 targets. You're like your only receiver. Robert Tonyan, nice. Congratulations, people that overpaid for him. Devontae.
Yeah, Danny told me he was a top 7 tight end rest of season.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. AJ
he also was banged up in this game, so I'll give him that. But like,
stole a touchdown and apparently a lot of yards. A lot of no, he didn't steal a touchdown. It was Aaron Jones. My bad.
Yeah, but speaking of Aaron Jones, I mean, some people, including myself as a Bucs fan, were like, "Is this run defense going to suffer without Vita Vea?" No, absolutely. Like Jamal Williams broke like 1 long run against us, and other than that, and AJ Dillon got a long run, but that was in fucking garbage time. Like that one didn't even count.
Correct. This is a good team.
Yeah, you can't run on this team. You can't. Like Aaron Jones, 10 carries, 15 yards.
I would say the only fault on your team right now is the fact that Blaine Gabbert went 0 for 1 in this game. All right, move on.
Yeah, I wanted to see. I don't know why we're not putting the Rosen one as our backup quarterback. I want to see him just carry the clipboard around for Mr. Brady.
He's on your team, right? I don't know. I lost care for him when he left.
I mean, he's not going to turn into anything because I think he's a bum. But
yeah, do we want to talk the 49ers game real quick? We are doing this a little later than normal.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I haven't totally been watching a lot of it. As you can tell. So if I tell you guys who I bet on that week, just bet the opposite because I took the Rams money line. Honest to God, I was like, oh, this is a fucking lock. To be honest, I was like, I thought the Rams were a much better team than the 49ers coming into this game, and they're losing.
Confidence, though, that the Dolphins are going to beat the Rams next week.
Is that who you guys play?
Yeah. No, it's bye then Rams. My apologies.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, the Rams are a good team. Like, I thought they were going to destroy these guys. And
we're never going to
what
lose.
I've seen, Kyle Shanahan is kind of having his way with the Rams defensive coordinator in this game. Like, I've just seen a lot of Deebo Samuel, a lot of Brandon Ayuk, a lot of Raheem Mostert, just a lot of creativity from Kyle Shanahan.
On 4th and 2, getting a huge touchdown run break off for like 44 yards. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Raheem Mostert has looked really, really solid so far. What is it? It's currently in the 4th, midway through. So yeah, Raheem Mostert's done what he should have. 17 touches. He's the only running back there that's willing that I would play. I know that sounds tough. We used to say that, yeah, you could start like 4 running backs for this team and you're fine. But I think Raheem Mostert's the solid one. Darrell Henderson, the solid one. I'm going to say that now. There's no Malcolm Brown today, and there's no Cam Akers today. It's Darrell Henderson, and I'm sorry.
I'm so willing to bet it changes next week. I'm telling you right now, it's going to change.
Darrell Henderson was the dominant guy the past 2 weeks. I think seriously, like this is 3 straight weeks of him being the core guy. I don't know. Maybe he is.
Yeah, I would definitely say if you're going to own any of them or if you have to start any of them, it's definitely Darrell Henderson. But
Cam Akers.
Do I think Cam Akers gets like 13 carries and like maybe steals a touchdown from him next week? It's possible.
Maybe. Who knows? Life's a mystery. Yeah. But yeah, that's her wrap up.
All right. As always, guys, if you enjoyed, hit the button that looks like this. Like button helps us out tremendously. Comment any of your thoughts down below. If you made it this far in the video, comment Title Town in the comment section.
no.
Subscribe to the channel if you're new, or if you're not new, make sure you turn on the notification bells, and make sure you guys are tuning in for all the live streams, all the videos that we have every week. I want to see some recurring commenters in the comments section as well. Skater and Crocamon and Nick Donahue are the guys that comment on the videos first. Let's see if we can get some new competitors for those guys. Peace out, guys. Enjoy your Monday.